I was wondering if it was the council's responsibilities to investigate the little mini nuclear plants that would be posted around. Is that county commissioner's responsibility?
It's not necessarily county commissioner's responsibility, but it is one of the things that I want to do. It is one of my initiatives.
Me
So,
too.
what Kathy's talking about is small modular reactors, SMRs.
Like
These
in a
are
submarine.
Yeah, these are itty bitty nuclear reactors, like the kind that power nuclear aircraft carriers,
Right.
submarines. They have a much smaller footprint,
Right.
and I can't remember my calculations, but I think if I recall, three SMRs could power the city of Plano in perpetuity. Don't quote me on that number, but in the research I was doing. But with our power issues, which Snowmageddon illuminated, we've got two big issues. First, we're not producing enough power. We only have 2 nuclear power plants in Texas. We need more. And the wind and the solar, I mean, they can be supplements, fine, but they stopped working due to the storms when we needed them the most, when temperatures plummeted and electricity demand skyrocketed because the AC was drawing more and more juice. But we also had a lot of energy transfer issues. So we had power lines that were just dead, down, transformers knocked offline because of the intense cold and the ice. So it didn't matter how much we were producing. We weren't producing as much as we should have, but even if we were producing as much as we should have, it had no way to get from point A to point B. So actually two, and I started working on this when I was on city council for City of Plano and nearby cities, is moving to a microgrid so that we're not entirely dependent on ERCOT. So a microgrid, instead of just having the big Texas grid, if the big Texas grid is made up of numerous or countless smaller grids that can be isolated if need be, then if we had an SMR, like we could, again, if I remember my calculations right for Plano, if we could power Plano in perpetuity off of 3 SMRs, then 1 SMR should at least give us emergency power. And if we had a microgrid where we didn't have to worry about losing that, then we'd be a lot better off during disasters. So let's hope this weekend isn't anything like Snowmageddon.
That's what San Antonio's done?
No, San Antonio actually, they have a kind of a microgrid, but they just created their own power company. So like the option you have to go out and pick whatever power company you want, they don't produce their own electricity, they pass it through. So that's kind of what San Antonio did. In fact, that was my first question when I wanted to pursue this, is to look at San Antonio's model. And it's not quite what I wanted to do with truly producing and managing our own microgrid. But SMRs, yes, that's one of the things I want to pursue.